Hey, welcome guys. Thanks for tuning back in to another episode of the Game of Cryptos. I hope you guys are all doing well today on this Friday. Yes, this video, I wanted to go and talk about, the Bitcoin halving is around the corner. It's roughly 14 days away. That's 2 weeks. So that's going to put the halving date right around April 19th, April 20th. So this video, I want to give you not some steps that you can do and things to prepare before the halving. Obviously, before this halving, there's things that you could have done with your portfolio, change some things. But just because the halving is coming in 2 weeks doesn't mean that things are gonna drastically change instantly. You still have time to potentially buy cryptos, reallocate funds, stuff like that. But this video, I just want to give you some ideas, do's and do nots of what you should be doing or possibly doing post BTC halving. Just, some things that I'm going to do and things that I think would be very valuable for you guys to do as well. So, before we get into that, we're going to go over a tweet from Michael Saylor on X. He says, Bitcoin is a bank in cyberspace run by incorruptible software, offering a global, affordable, simple, and secure savings account to billions of people that don't have the option or desire to run their own hedge fund. Hashtag Bitcoin is hope. Michael Saylor, I'm sure most of you guys know him, MicroStrategy. They've been buying a lot of Bitcoin, and he's right. Bitcoin, it's the new savings account. It's the new bank account. This is what you want to be putting your money in and saving into. Again, not financial advice, but Bitcoin has been proven to outpace the rate of inflation. So therefore, holding and securing your financial, basically making you more financially free. You are having higher purchasing power because you're not putting your money in something that's deflationary like fiat and the US dollar. So going into this video, guys, okay, what are some things that I would do to, after this Bitcoin halving hits in about 2 weeks? So first of all, I would make sure that my portfolio is properly allocated. And then in parentheses here, it says not too heavy in any one particular project. So basically, on the run up from what we've seen when Bitcoin was in the 30s, like 30,000, 40, 50,000, and then went all the way up to 70, low 70s, a lot of cryptos, I'm assuming there were cryptos in your portfolio, if you had the right ones, that ran. They put in some really good numbers. You made a couple, 2 or 3 X's. So therefore, your portfolio is probably unbalanced. There's probably higher allocation in maybe 1 or 2 cryptos. Let's say you have a meme coin and it ran really hard. Depending on how much money you put in, your meme coin could be now 50% of your portfolio. So what I would do post halving is, so Bitcoin is it's not going to be off to the races necessarily right after the halving, guys. The halving is it's basically the start of what we would say the parabolic bull run, which means it's like a slight delay, and then altcoins will go crazy later on if history repeats. So what I would do is, even right now and even post halving, I would still say you have time to get your portfolio in order. If you have maybe even higher conviction plays, if you have higher risk plays such as meme coins that ran, then maybe take some profit and put them into more quote unquote safer plays or higher market cap plays, ones that are going to be less volatile but still net you some good return. That's one of the main things that I would do post halving, because again, guys, I do think you're still going to have time to get your portfolio in order despite even after the halving happens. Another one, kind of following off of that, be in the bullish narratives. Gaming, AI, DPEN, memes, layer ones, just to name a few. Again, basically what I'm saying is the train's going to be leaving the station soon, guys. eventually it's going to come a time where you have to sit on your hands, where you can't do anything really except sell your portfolio, because by the time, next thing you know it, the bull run's ending. So the train is leaving the station. Or another analogy, right now, look at the Bitcoin halving and altcoins running in there, and it being the true altcoin season. If you're looking at it as like a NASCAR or something, right now you have the ability to make a pit stop, to change those tires, to change the air pressure, to change a part of the car that isn't efficient. That's the same thing that you have going on right now in crypto. You have the ability to reallocate your portfolio, to get more cryptos that are in a more bullish narrative, whether it's AI, gaming, anything. It could be anything, guys. I'm just naming a couple of ones that have been like the hot narratives, or something that's in the Solana ecosystem. Again, it's whatever fits your investment thesis. But right now, you have the time to make that pit stop, to make those final changes, because eventually you're not going to be able to make those changes anymore. And you're going to have to run the race with whatever condition your car is in. Just like with whatever condition and whatever, cryptos you invested in with your leading up to this bull run. You're going to just have to ride it out, and you're going to realize the plays that went really well and the choices you made that were good. And then you're going to maybe realize a couple of them didn't work out. And then you apply that knowledge to the next cycle. So again, guys, use this time wisely, prepare. Again, I still think you're going to have time to be able to make these changes even after the bull run. Number 3, DCA less. So you're focusing less on buying, and you kind of want to shift to almost like the selling mindset. Again, in a traditional 4-year cycle, you're probably going to have at least a year to year and a half to be able to eventually sell. But again, don't take anything I just said as like financial advice, because anything can happen in the market. Whales can manipulate the market. Things can happen sooner. Things can happen later. At the end of the day, like I did in a video, like I said before, the time to potentially get out of the market is whenever you feel like you made enough money. But really what you can do, though, is the bulk of your buying should have been back in like 2022, 2023. The major dips, back when Bitcoin was 15.5, back when Solana was around $10, after everything with the FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, Alameda. That's when you wanted it, back when render was like $1. That's when you really wanted to allocate the most of your funds. So not saying that even after this BTC halving that you can't allocate funds, but the bulk of your buys, you should not have heavier buys now than you did back in early 2022, 2023 if you were buying then. Chances are you're doing it wrong if for some reason your buys are way heavier. The only reason that might happen is if you sat on the sidelines way too long, and now you're like, oh, things are kicking off way too fast. Let me put my, take the money off the sidelines and put it in. So kind of feeding off of what I just said for point number 3 is when you make enough money, sell. Guys, YouTubers are going to make videos. I have done this. I'm guilty of it. They're going to make videos explaining when they think the market is going to top. But at the end of the day, no one's going to call the absolute top. Just like no one's going to call the absolute bottom. Now, if enough people give their predictions, eventually someone will probably be right. But having that said, it's risky to hold yourself to saying, oh, well, 90% of these YouTubers say it's gonna, the bull run's gonna go into 2025 of November and December. Guys, that's not fact. I think that's very risky, expecting the market to run that long. If you do that, there's a chance that you could end up becoming exit liquidity. There's a chance that you could become exit liquidity because you held on too long. You do not want to ride your profits all the way into the next cycle because you forgot to sell. So make these gains realized. Sell. Put it into stables. Put it into your bank account. Put it in the Bitcoin. Again, whatever your investment thesis is, and you guys should have one at this point. You should know, maybe there's a number in mind of when a certain crypto hits a certain price you're going to sell. But arguably, I think even better than that is when you see I think you should have a portfolio balance that you arguably want to see, something that is reasonable. And hopefully it ends up being something that's life-changing. And then when you see that portfolio balance hit, boom, time to sell. Or at least maybe sell whatever, half of it, 90% of it, and then if you are getting FOMO again because the market is going crazy, then okay, go back and maybe take some of that profit and put it into something super speculative, ride that out, and just, let that be. So again, none of this I'm not telling you guys what to do. This is just something that I'm going to follow, and these are things that I think would be very useful for you guys to follow as well. And then, so lastly, this is point number 5. This is a really simple and quick video, guys. Just wanted to get something that I thought was going to be, really valuable for you guys. Make sure you have enough cash on the side for gas fees. And this is mainly just talking about Ethereum, because if you guys have bought any ERC20 crypto, you know the pain, especially in the last bull run, when it came time to sell, how hard it was to swallow that pill of knowing that you just spent $50, $60, $70, $80, $100 plus in gas fees. So make sure you have your gas fees for these cryptos, for the blockchains that you are buying, or the ones that you're going to eventually sell on, because these exchanges and decentralized exchanges, no matter what you're using, even if you're using Jupiter, if you're using any of them, they're going to require gas fees in order to sell your crypto, to convert it. And then whether you're going to put it in like a cold wallet or sell it out to a bank, you're going to want your gas fees. Make sure you have that. You don't want to be scrambling around when it comes time to sell, worried like, oh, I didn't have enough cash. I'm sure everything will be fine. You can always just, route some money from your bank and then, have the money for gas fees. But I just think it's easier to already have everything, kind of set in stone for gas fees to do the conversions once you want to sell. I could have done way more things that you should be doing after the BTC halving. But again, this is just a short list of some simple things that I would keep in mind as this bull run is continuing on. The bull run, people are saying, oh, the bull run hasn't started. The bull run doesn't start until after the halving. No. The bull run started when Bitcoin bottomed at 15,500, at 15,500, around that number. We're just going into a more elevated, more hyper part of the bull run where the alts and the altcoin dominance start going up. That's the new stage that's about to be set here soon. So be prepared. Stay up on stay up on Bitcoin news, and just overall stay up on your altcoin news, and just be ready for anything. Crypto never ceases to amaze us, for better or for worse. And hopefully at the end of the day, we all will make life-changing wealth, because that's why we're in crypto. We are here to change our lives, to not have to work a 9 to 5. And yeah, so guys, let me know in the comments, were these tips useful? Are you already thinking about following these? Have you already been doing that? What things are you trying to do post bull run to just maximize this bull run? Let me know in the comments. I'll be down there commenting, and I will have my next videos you'll probably see on Monday or Tuesday. So until then, have a great weekend, and I will see you guys later.